guys, welcome to Story Time. When I was a correction officer back in the 90s. Let's talk about it. So this story time is about an inmate that knew my husband at the time. He's now my ex-husband, but he knew my husband at the time, and they were cool. And this dude had the audacity to ask me, your girl, to bring him in some weed. So this particular inmate is housed in my unit. Yeah, Southeast 2. So he came over to the bubble and he asked me, he said, hey, you Nina, right? That's my nickname. You Nina, right? I said, yeah. He said, you Mo White, right? I said, yeah, why? He was like, yeah, you know, that's my man. I remember you. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, yeah. He said, so this what you do? You CO? I said, yeah, I'm CO. And he was asking me, like, how long you been over here? And I was telling him and everything like that. Then all of a sudden, he was like, yeah, I need you to holler at Mo for me. So me thinking nothing of it, I was like, oh, I'll tell him you said hi when I get home. Yeah, and I tell him that you in my house. You know, I'm gonna pass the word. He was like, nah, I need you to do me a favor. You need me to do you a favor? He was like, yeah, I need you to do me a favor. So he was like, what time you get off? I said, well, I work 4 to 12. So, you know, he was like, yeah, because y'all lock us down at 11. So, yeah, but before you lock down, I got something I want you to give to, if you could do that for me, I appreciate it. So I didn't really think nothing of it. I was like, okay. So he had a note. So he handed me the note when it was, he came to the bubble, and I was in the bubble by myself, and this was probably around 10:30, and around 10:30, something like that, 10:30, 10:45, they like, okay, preparing for the count. So officer that I was working with, they were out on the floor getting the inmates to get ready to go in for a count. And so my husband's ex-friend came over to me, and he was like, yeah, here. So he gave me a note, and he asked me to give it to my ex. So I said, oh, okay. Mind you, I did not think nothing of it. And this is what I'm saying. You could easily get caught the fuck up in corrections. But I didn't think nothing of it because I'm like, it ain't nothing. So he probably was like, wrote him a note or whatever. So I put it in my pocket. I was like, okay. But then I said, when I get home, I'll make sure I give it to him. If he not asleep, because I get off at 12. So if he not asleep, I'll wait in the morning. I'll give him your note. Fast forward, I get out to my car, and I read the letter, the note. It wasn't a letter, it was a note. So I read the note, and the note is asking him asking my ex to ask me to bring him in weed. The fuck? I said, oh my God. When I got in the house, I woke my ex up. I was like, look at this note that the inmate gave me. I was about to say the inmate's name. I still know his name. I was like, look at the note that he gave me. And so my ex-friend, he was like, what the fuck? That nigga done lost his mind. He lost his mind. And then, he gave me something, harsh words to say to him when I get back to work and I get to my housing unit. He said, that nigga straight disrespected me. Like, man, ain't like, for real. So I get to work the next day and I get to my housing unit. I cannot wait to get to this housing unit. Oh my God. Because one thing, Officer Whoop-de-Whoop don't stand for is disrespect. I don't give a fuck who it is. When you starting to try to put my life, my children's life, my ex-husband at the time when we was married, our life in jeopardy, you really done lost your fucking mind. So I wait, control center clear the count. He come, I ain't even have to say nothing. He come right over to the bubble. Because this dude literally thought that I must have brought him in some weed. So when he came into the Nina, did you give Mo the letter, the note? I said, yeah, and let me just tell you what he said. And I told him what he said. He said, oh, and I said, let me just say this to you. He don't even have to say nothing, but I'm going to tell you something. Don't you ever fucking disrespect me. Because when you disrespect me, you disrespecting me, my husband, and my children. And I said, and you know what? Anybody know, ask anybody in Southeast too, they'll tell you, don't disrespect her. Don't ask her to bring you in no contraband. Don't ask her to bring you nothing. If it's not mandated by the Department of Corrections, that is not the officer. Well, he didn't know. He found out that day, because you know what your girl did. I wrote his ass up, and I mean, I wrote it real good, and locked his ass down. I had them to call. I had him removed out of my unit immediately. Had him down in North 2 on lockup. Like, don't come for me. I'm not the one nor the two. He learned his lesson today. Stay tuned. He learned his lesson that day. Stay tuned for the next story time.